the macro environment around custody digital assets is expected to be close to $10 trillion by the year 2030. And inevitably, people are going to need a place to store those assets and safe, secure, and they're going to need to be able to transfer them as well, having good on and off ramps. Even a tokenization engine, some of the work Ripple is doing around central bank digital currencies or CBDCs. So we think there's a lot of pieces that come together, and we already had. And I remember when you and I first spoke. I remember being on a call with one of the largest top 10 banks in the world, and a bank Ripple was already working with, and they were asking us about could we help them with their custody. This is prior to the Medico acquisition, and we weren't in a position to do that. And so when we think about that synergy, the ability to say to that existing Ripple customer, hey, here's a best in class, going head to head, time and time again, and winning on the custody level, to be able to bring that product to them, I think is a great opportunity for the two companies together. So,
hey, what's going up, Bull Runners? Welcome back to the channel. Imagine this. You wake up one day, you check your crypto wallet, and something feels off. The market's buzzing, XRP's spiking, but whispers of taxes and secret government moves linger in the air. What's really happening behind the scene? Welcome to today's crypto news, where the stakes are high and the clock is ticking. So picture this. New XRP ETFs could flood the market with billions of dollars. Yes, billions. While one of Trump's top advisors fights a tax that could choke your gains. And then there's the FDIC hiding something big about crypto's past. It's a shadowy puzzle, and every second you're not in the know, you're missing out. But don't worry, I'm here to pull back the curtain piece by piece, and today we're diving into these massive stories shaking the crypto world. XRP's ETF breakthrough, a tax battle heating, and a cover-up Coinbase is fighting to expose. So stick with me, because this isn't just news, it's your edge. And here's the kicker. If you stick with me until the end, I'll give you a sneak peek into Altcoin Pro, our crypto community, where you can get access to hundreds of curated classes to help you with everything crypto, from the building of blocks of crypto, what is a blockchain, all the way to becoming a DeFi master. So whether the markets are going up or down, there's always opportunity, and every single day we're digging for those for our community. And hey, if you're like most people where you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day in the crypto news like we do on this channel, make sure you subscribe today so you don't ever miss out. And if you're feeling bullish about this current bull run, let me know by commenting 777 down below. Plus, we'll be jumping over to X to find out all of the breaking news that's happening in the crypto world right now. We'll deep dive into the FDIC resist transparency on Operation Chokepoint 2.0. And David Sachs pushes back against the idea of a crypto transaction tax. Can you believe that? And Volatility Shares files for 3 more XRP ETFs. And we'll jump over to TradingView and check out the next support and resistance for XRP. Plus, we'll check in on our long-term and short-term momentum waves, see where we could possibly be going. But first, let's kick it off over at CoinMarketCap and feel out what the actual overall health of the crypto market is today. You are a genius for being here. Currently, we're at 2.84 trillion. As we've been talking, we really need to start to see that move up above the $3 trillion mark. And as you heard in the very beginning, kicking it off, Brad Garlinghouse saying we should be getting to $10 trillion. And that's on total market cap. That is a 5x essentially from where we're at now. There's so much potential gains coming in the future, but this is not looking great. The weekend is taking a break. $56 billion worth of trading volume today, which is awful. Fear and greed still awful, sitting at 24. Yesterday was down at 25. Last week, it was all the way down at 22. Altcoin season leveling out at 14. Last week was 14. Yesterday was 14. And today, obviously, 14. So we are not even close to altcoin season. It is 100% Bitcoin season, as it says here. And one of the most ridiculous stats I have ever seen on CoinMarketCap, the top 100 coins performance over the last 90 days. There's only 12 coins in the green, which is absolutely nuts in the last 3 months. One is over 100%, and it's up 576. That's the Barra chain, because they've got a lot of huge news that came out. And if you were inside of our Altcoin Pro University, you would have found out about that before it got popular. But no other coin in the last 90 days is up over 100%. Now, we're going to be talking ETFs today. That would be the XRP ETFs, and they will be joining this ETF tracker in the future. But right now, it is just Bitcoin and Ethereum. And as we've been following along with this, it has been nothing but dump city to the downside. Major institutions, all of the banks that are selling ETFs have decided to take profit. This is what it is. And remember, an ETF is not a buy and hold customer. Their goal is to buy it and sell it for a profit. And they did do that. So as you can see, they were buying here and there sporadically. And look what happened right here at the end of October 13th. So the middle of October, they started really ramping this up. Now, why is this important? That's because in the beginning of November is when we saw that absolute moonshot to the upside, obviously finishing off in December. And look at you, we can literally follow the volume coming into the ETFs, and that shows you when we get to the peak. After that, we have selling off, and then of course a couple little bit more buys right here, but right now extreme profit taking from all of these earlier buys that were happening before the move in November. So if you're out there watching, trying to track what's going on in the markets, this may be a good thing for you to follow along with. And just to check in on what we're talking about with the ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs were buying this whole entire time, all the way through up into August, September, October, and November. They had those large buys come in at the beginning of December. So they bought the whole entire ride up, and they're starting to exit those positions to make sure that they lock in profits. So what I'm watching for is for them to start taking up the volume back to the upside as far as purchasing the ETFs again, but also excited about adding XRP to the ETFs as well. Top 5 trending coins according to Coin Market Cap. We got number 1, Pros, number 2, Kaido, number 3, DGB, number 4, BTT, and number 5, Nero. Top 5 coins by total market cap. Bitcoin is up at $1.7 trillion. Ethereum at $265 billion. Tether at 142, now overtaking XRP, which is now at number 4 at 135 billion, BNB at 84 billion, and since Tether is a stablecoin, we'll cover number 6, which is number 5, $70 billion. So what's happening over on X? Before we get into the article about this ETF for XRP, who cares about the US XRP stockpile? We've got 16 XRP ETFs and major financial institutions ready to buy our XRP. So let's take a look at the list. Bitwise, Grayscale, 21 shares. Canary Capital, WisdomTree, CoinShares, Invesco, VanEck, Fidelity, ARK, Galaxy, ProShares, Hashdex, Volatility Shares 2X ETF, and Volatility Shares 1X ETF. Also, when it comes to XRP, an interesting tidbit when it comes to the stockpile, Ripple Labs was ordered to pay a $125 million penalty to the U.S. Securities Exchange for improperly selling its XRP tokens. To manage this payment, Ripple requested a delay and proposed placing $125 million into the escrow account. The SEC agreed to this agreement, and the funds were secured under court-approved escrow agreement. The penalty amount was specified in US dollars. However, the available sources do not clarify whether the escrowed funds were held in USD or in XRP tokens. Now that we know that the United States has a stockpile that will contain select high-quality digital assets with sufficient market liquidity depth, it is not unreasonable to think that a $125 million fee judgment will be accepted in XRP and will be deposited into the stockpile. And in fact, what would be really cool, that helps us as XRP holders because they don't have to give $125 million when this came out. Remember, I mean, the case, really, XRP, when they put this into escrow, was probably 50 cents. So they're going to be saving huge if they're able to pay with XRP because it is up nearly 5x from that location. So they're saving a huge amount if they were able to pay that with XRP. And would that XRP be deposited into the stockpile account? Ripple has an incentive to agree with this because that means for the first time in history, the US government will own XRP. Now remember, Brad Garlinghouse did give Donald Trump XRP, $1 million worth of XRP for his inauguration. So he owns it, but this will be going to the government, therefore will be incentivized to let its value grow over time. And this will mean that the shackles that prevented XRP from being used in the United States will finally be removed from XRP and finally be allowed to assume the utility it was created for. And that in turn will mean positive price movements for XRP. Great post from Yasin Mubarak. Also, huge news that was released. The U.S. Office of the Comptroller just released an interpretive letter explicitly allowing banks to use distributed ledgers stablecoins for banking activities. We therefore conclude that a bank may validate, store, and record payments transactions by serving as a node on an INVN. Likewise, a bank may use INVNs and related stablecoins to carry out other permissible payment activities. So that's huge. Green light straight up. We heard this was coming, but now it's official. So let's talk about these volatility shares, XRP ETFs, because they're launching 3 different ones. And they're going to include the spot XRP ETF, a 2x leverage ETF, and an inverse -1x ETF. So for shorting XRP, the spot is designed to track the price of the cryptocurrency directly, while the 2x aim to amplify daily price movements by a factor of 2, and the -1x offers investors a way to bet against XRP's price, reflecting the reverse of its daily performance. This latest move comes as expectations rise for regulatory approval of a spot XRP ETF. Traders on Polymarket are currently weighing in a 77% chance that the spot XRP ETF will receive approval this year. However, the perceived odds of approval before July 31st are lower than 35. So they think it's going to be a long time for this to come. We need it to happen rather quickly so that way price can start to go back up, obviously. Volatility shares filings see it join various other asset managers looking for XRP ETFs to launch in the US, including Grayscale, WisdomTree, Bitwise, 21 Shares, Coin Shares, and Canary Capital, which we covered just a few minutes ago. And checking in with Grok, unbiased summary of XRP news of what's happening, price and market activity. XRP is trading at approximately $2.31 with high volume per post on X. White House Crypto Summit held yesterday, shifted to crypto strategic reserve asset. Initial hopes for XRP inclusion have faded as Bitcoin takes priority. SEC legal battle. Attorney Fred Rispoli predicts Ripple may face a $125 million fine. They could settle that with XRP, obviously. Settlement speculation. Jeremy Hogan, who we just mentioned a couple minutes ago, also thinks that they're going to settle it and pay it through XRP. Market sentiment. X posts show cautious optimism. Bulls are buying despite Bitcoin's reserve dominance, but the co-founder hack reported by Cointelegraph raises security concerns, which this should not raise any concerns for the simple fact that it was a password keeper issue. This had nothing to do with the company. It was Chris Larson's private personal funds. It was not the company's funds. So very interesting there. As far as Ripple leadership goes right now, Garlinghouse Summit attends fuels regulatory speculation, though his earlier absence from some attendees list stirred debate. Overall outlook, XRP remains stable, yet tied to unresolved legal and policy developments. Sentiment is mixed as investors await clarity.
Hey, bull runners, if you want more money to invest in the crypto market, did you know that there's billions of dollars in federal cash for businesses that kept paying their W-2 employees despite dealing with the government shutdowns in 2020 to 2021 during the pandemic that caused massive supply chain issues? So if you have or you know any businesses that have W-2 employees, you could qualify for up to $26,000 per employee with no maximum limit through the Federal Employee Retention Credit Program when you click the link in the description of this video. Now, this isn't a loan. It's an IRS cash refund, and businesses have been getting back hundreds of thousands of dollars through this over the last few years. So to see if you qualify, all you need to do is click the link in the description below this video right now to schedule a free consultation with a dedicated ERC expert. But you have to act fast because the deadline to apply and share with as many businesses as possible is April 15th this year. And you can also sign up as an affiliate below, share with businesses that have W-2 employees, and earn 2% on their refunds. All they do is they simply click your link, they schedule a consultation before April 15th, and they will see how much they qualify to get back. So this is a great way to get money back in your pocket to invest in the crypto market before the next major breakout. And most businesses have missed out on this credit because the ERC qualifications have changed 3 times over the years. So if you were told in the past that you didn't qualify for this, there's actually a chance now that you do qualify. So click the link below, Schedule a free consultation today and let's help you get some money back in your pocket this bull run. And if you know any businesses that have W-2 employees, sign up as an affiliate right now through the link below. Share your link with as many businesses as possible before April 15th, and let's get you paid.
So let's talk about Operation Chokepoint 2.0, because as you remember, apparently the debanking and the freedom of crypto is supposed to be coming back. However, some people are trying to dig deeper into it and finding it's not so over just yet. At least 30 tech and crypto founders were reportedly secretly debanked in the US during Operation Chokepoint 2.0, which was a period during the Biden administration when crypto and tech founders were allegedly denied banking services, according to Coinbase Chief Legal Officer Paul Grewal. And as we can see here, Paul Grewal just posted this today. They haven't gotten the message despite a huge week for crypto across the rest of the federal government. On this last Friday night over at FDIC, staff is still continue to resist basic transparency into Operation Chokepoint 2.0. A few stark examples. One of our requests and concerns FDI representation in a hearing before the court that the agency had conducted due diligence to ensure that no documents were destroyed. We asked FDIC to describe what example the due diligence was, but the FDIC reportedly refused to do so. And his comments come one day after the U.S. Comptroller of the Currency eased its stance on how banks engage with crypto, just a few hours from when Donald Trump vowed to end the prolonged crackdown restricting crypto firms' access to banking services. All of this ties together in this one video. And Elon Musk even tweeting about this. Did you know that 30 tech founders were secretly debanked? The FDIC only produced a snippet of the FOIA request. He went on to say the agency has produced only snippets from a few documents that have little to nothing to do with the specific FOIA policies or practices that History Associates has challenged in the amended complaint. What exactly are they hiding? Moreover, Grewal said that the FDIC had redacted a total of 53 pages with many other pages containing heavy redactions, rendering the documents unintelligible, which is absolutely nuts because everything that continues to come out, everything is redacted. Our government doesn't want us to know any of the truth at all, whether it's crypto, whether it's politics, whether it's everything. So hopefully soon we will see some clarity on all of these things and we'll get some transparency from our United States government. And then in a bizarre scenario here, David Sachs was on a podcast and one of the people that he was talking to said, oh, why don't we tax every single crypto transaction and take that little tax and put it in the reserve, which was absolutely asinine. The whole point of crypto is to try to get away from the government having the boot on your neck, obviously. The Trump administration is currently exploring proposals for major tax cryptocurrency administrative reform in the United States, but Trump wants to cut and remove and banish and get rid of taxes, not add more. When David Sachs went on the All In podcast, host Jason Calacanis proposed charging a 0.01% tax on every crypto transaction. And David Sachs responded brilliantly saying that's always how taxes start. They're described as being very modest. You know, when the income tax first started, it only applied to like 1,000 Americans. And then the legislature swore up and down that it would never be applied to middle-class people. And now look at it. It's just crushing everybody. He went on and said, I don't particularly like the idea of new taxes, even if it promised that they won't affect people very much. That sounds burdensome to me. At the recent White House summit, there was no mention of concrete tax policies. However, the Trump administration has signaled its support for sweeping tax reform. President Trump has even proposed eliminating federal income tax altogether. Trump said that the U.S. federal government was funded exclusively by tariffs in the 19th century and argued it was a time of almost unparalleled prosperity for the United States. Checking in with the XRP charts here on TradingView, and we're going to take a look at our weekly spider lines right here. As you know, if you've been following along, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't joined Altcoin Pro University, make sure you join. Everything we talk about on this channel is not financial advice. Make sure you do your own research. But if you need help with like the deeper dive research information, then join Altcoin Pro University. Go to www.bullrunners.com and it's going to give you way more in-depth, detailed information on so many more subjects. In fact, just to give you a sneak peek, like I told you in the beginning, we have our analyst, DeFi Mo, going over some information 7 hours ago. He gave a market update, volatility, and economic fears. Another one of our analysts, Curious Jay, gave some information out yesterday, market update, key narratives shaping crypto right now. And then another one of our analysts, Soul King, gave out some information 2 days ago, March 7th BTC update. It's just on and on and on. Every single day, they're in there deep diving, not just XRP, not just Bitcoin, but anything and everything you can imagine. We even have our altcoin picks section here, and I'm not talking meme coins. I'm talking about altcoins that could do well in the future. 3 days ago, Hyper EVM ecosystem information, February 28th, rapid fire picks, long-term altcoin bet, TIA, Celestia, market narrative update, the rise of InfoFi wars. If you haven't heard about what information finance is yet, we give you that information. New low cap gen Navi, new mid cap gen research HNT, and it just goes on and on. We're there to help you out. Plus, you get to hang out with 1,100 other like-minded individuals that are always in there trying to find out more about cryptocurrency as a whole and posting announcements and general discussion, hanging out, talking to each other. www.bullrunners.com. Join us, Altcoin Pro, today. All right, so let's check in on the price. Where are we going? So first and foremost, XRP is currently sitting at $2.35 at the time of recording. When you're watching, it's going to be different, possibly. Down below here, we're going to have support at $2.23 range. All right, so 223 on our weekly spider line support. And if we're going to be bearish, if we lose this level, we could be coming back to the $1.91 level, which is actually also the high of the April 2021 high. And the only reason that I'm mentioning bearish is for a couple of reasons. Okay, so on the daily charts here, now this doesn't have to happen. I'm just telling you where we are right now. We are below the zero line on our Wolfpack long-term momentum indicator. As we can see, when we're above the zero line, we went up and we had a pullback, obviously, but then we went back up, and you can follow along as that's happening. But right now we're below the zero line. So that means we're bearish on this. That's our long-term momentum indicator. As we can see, we've been bearish for quite some time since the all-time high, but this officially turned bearish on February 3rd below the zero line. But if we take a look at this, there are some other signs that you could be paying attention to using this Wolfpack indicator. For example, there was a bearish divergence that hit right here. And what happened right on that day? It was actually a day and a half after our all-time high, right? So how cool would it have been if you'd have known that it was about to drop and you could have been in a short position if you do day trading? The Wolfpack indicator helps you do that long-term momentum-wise, okay? So right now, if anything, I would be looking for shorts. And we look at our short-term momentum indicator, it is starting to break to the downside. It has turned red. So if this continues to come down, we'll follow that all the way back down. When it zeroes out at the bottom, gets to zero and reloads, and then it can move back up to the top of 100. When this is bearish, the Wolfpack is bearish, and then this turns to the downside, we typically could see some pretty significant price action to the downside. But this is the daily, okay? So I want to just point that out on the daily, because when we go to the weekly, we are very bullish, and we have reset to zero essentially, and it can pull up and ride to the upside for quite some time, because last time we zeroed out was the week before the move to the upside. And we are still bullish above the zero line on the Wolfpack. So keep that in mind. We also have 22 hours left. We have 22 hours left in this candle. It's a weekly candle. So that means tomorrow night, that is after Sunday night, we'll be going into the new weekly candle. If we turn bullish, we start to go green again, we could be in for a wild ride to the upside. In fact, there is a potential if we start to make the move, usually there's some sort of fundamental news that's behind it. So something positive for XRP will be hitting if our short-term momentum wave starts to turn up. So once we start to turn up like we did here, we may hear the XRP ETF launched, or the government has decided to buy some of the stockpile, whatever the case may be. Or maybe Doge ends up sending out those $5,000 checks, and then everyone starts putting all their money into crypto just like they did during COVID. So there could be something coming, a catalyst coming on the higher time frames of the weekly. And in fact, even our 3-day momentum it just has to start to kick back up, right? So I feel like if we break tomorrow or the next day back above this 250 level, we could see the move to the upside, which we see here as well when the short-term shaft trend cycle reset at 0 on the 3-day and we were green. It made the move up here from the support level of 223, and that's when we made our new all-time high. But unfortunately, there was a bearish divergence in here, and it sent it to the downside. When we look here on the daily charts, there hasn't been anything giving us indication that it's moving to the upside. When we look at the 12 hours, we tried to break above it here on the 12 hours for a day or two, and unfortunately it failed. However, it hasn't failed significantly to the downside. So we'll see. There's a potential. Like I said, we're waiting to see this move to the upside. This hasn't fully reset down to 0 on the 12-hour. So if it just continues to trade sideways, that's very positive, or it does come and gather support at 224 before making the next up move. Those are all possibilities looking at these indicators here. 8-hour chart has also dropped below the 0 line. 4-hour chart is also below the 0 line. So you can see right here, we were down below the 0 line, riding red. We had a bullish divergence, but then we crossed over right here, the 0 line, and boom, those next couple hours made a very, very significant move to the upside. So the same is true down here. We are below that, so we could have a crazy drop. So what we're watching for is everything to get back above the 0 line. So 4-hour is below, 1 hour below, 30 minutes about to finally break the 0 line here, hopefully. 15 minutes, it broke it for a second, and then it didn't do anything. Look at the 5-minute here. 5 minutes, nothing happening. So the weekend, Saturday, been slow. About to go watch the UFC fight. Hope you have a great night.
Hey, bull runners, check this out. If you want to learn how to find the next 10x, 50x, or even 100x altcoin in this video, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and it's currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers.